Okay guys, so for our third and final dish, the finale, we have a furikake and panko crusted halibut with pickles and a miso sauce. So to get started, I'm going to take this beautiful halibut fillet and I'm going to put it in some egg wash. And this is just some egg that I've beaten up and put a little bit of water. Now, I'm just gonna leave it in there and take some panko breadcrumbs, my furikake, some salt, and some pepper to add that spice you need in your life. And then I'm also gonna add a little garlic. Then I'm just gonna mix that up with my hands because you're gonna get messy. And just make sure it's all thoroughly mixed up. Then I'm gonna take my halibut, take some of the egg wash off, just so it's nicely coated with one coat. I'm gonna put it in the panko mix, put it around, make sure to get the ends and all the sides, and you can and just be gentle with the fish. Then after I put one coat on, I'm gonna put it back in the egg and do one more coat and put it back into the panko. And this will just add an extra layer of the furikake and also an extra layer of the crunchiness. Then after it's coated and I'm happy with the way it's coated, I'm gonna take it and put it onto a baking tray. And I have an oven that is preheated to 450 degrees, so we're gonna bake it in there for about 15 minutes. Okay, so now we're gonna make the pickling mixture or the liquid to pickle our vegetables in. So I'm just gonna turn my heat onto low and just heat up my pan a little. And then I'm gonna add my oil and my ginger root. This is just a thin slice, and I'm just gonna kinda heat that up a little. Ooh, this bottle's hot. So I'm just gonna add about half a teaspoon, not that much. And I'm gonna let that heat up a little. And then add my ginger root in. Okay, so now this has been cooking for about 5 minutes. I'm just gonna put this oil up here. And I've just been stirring the ginger root around the oil, and this is just to add more flavor, so when you pickle, you'll kind of get the essence of that ginger. So now I'm gonna turn the heat up to like medium, high, more high. And I'm gonna add some vinegar. And this is just regular distilled white vinegar. I'm gonna add some water and some sugar. And I'm gonna just actually turn it up to high and just stir this and keep on stirring it until all of the sugar is dissolved. Okay, so now that the sugar in this mixture is all dissolved, I'm just gonna turn the heat off and let it cool down a bit before I pour it over my vegetables. Okay, so I just got my vegetables, and this is a mixture of cucumbers, carrots, and radishes. Now you could use any vegetables you want, but these are the ones I chose. Now I just cut them really thinly with a mandolin and then sprinkled about a big handful of salt on them, so they're just salted. Now I'm just gonna take my liquid and pour it over the vegetables. Now I'm just gonna actually just put this aside and let it sit. Now you can put it in the fridge overnight and then they'll be really pickled, but this recipe is good for quick pickling. So it will be done in about 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so I just took my halibut out of the refrigerator, and that will help kind of just keep the panko crust stuck to the fish. And I'm just gonna put it into my oven that's preheated to 450 degrees. And it's gonna be in there for about 15 minutes. So now I'm just gonna set my timer to 15 minutes and wait. Okay, so for the miso sauce, I'm going to put in the miso, some mirin, which is actually just sweet soy sauce. And miso is fermented soybeans, and it has like a very salty flavor. And I'm gonna put some almond butter in. Now, after I put this in, I'll show you. You could really use, I have two options here. If you're allergic to nuts, you could use something like this, which is tahini, which is made out of sesame seeds. Or if you are a little nutty like me, then you can use peanut butter. But I just like almond butter the best, and also I never really ate peanut butter growing up, so I just have a better taste for almond butter. Then I'm also gonna add some rice vinegar, a little bit of ginger juice, not ginger root, but the juice of it, and some garlic. Now I'm gonna mix this up, and you just kind of have to, you could use a whisk to whisk it all together, but I'm just using a spatula. And just fold this up and keep on it mixing and folding it until everything is combined and smooth. Now, if it's too thick, then you could add some water and just keep on adding water to thin it out until the right consistency. But I think mine is pretty good. I'm gonna do a little taste test. That's so good. It's kind of hits you as salt at first, but then all the flavors start rolling in. You get the almond butter, then the vinegar, the ginger. I'm actually gonna add some tarragon, and this is just dried tarragon. And I think that this is gonna add a lot more flavor to it. Then I'm also gonna add a pinch of salt and a little bit of pepper for some spice. And then just mix that all up. And your sauce is done. Okay, so now 15 minutes has gone by. It's ready to take our fish out of the oven. Ooh, it's perfectly brown. Okay, so now I'm gonna drain my pickles. They've been sitting in the liquid for about 20 to 25 minutes, and I've just tasted them and I think they're ready, so I'm just gonna drain them and make sure all the liquid doesn't have to be out, but just gonna get most of it. Put it back in the bowl. Get everything out. And now we're gonna go plate. Okay, so now I have my pickled veg, my sauce, and my fish. I'm gonna plate. So I'm gonna start by putting my sauce down. Oopsies. You know, sometimes we make messes in the kitchen. It's just life. And I'm just gonna smear this on the plate. Then I'm going to, then I'm going to put a pattern of cucumber, radish, and pickle on the sauce. So I'm gonna start with cucumber, radish, carrot. So after I do that, I'm going to take my fish and place it right in the middle of the plate. And then I'm gonna take a cucumber, a radish, and a carrot. And kind of put those in almost like a little circular. And clean my plate up a bit. My napkin. And ta-da, I'm done. I can't wait to taste this dish. I'm gonna get some of the pickle and the sauce in there. The vinegar and pickle of the veg with the creaminess and saltiness of the sauce and that flaky, perfectly cooked fish. It's so good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this episode and I hope you guys try out the 3 dishes. And I love you guys. See ya. Okay guys, so for our 3rd and final dish, the finale, we have a Furikake and Panko Crusted halibut with pickles.